Let's see. What's up, people? You know, y'all know my boys, Fat Boys died, so we gotta at least give them a little something before we get started. You know, when we get to about 20 people, we'll get started. Hope everybody's well. I apologize. We're gonna talk about this new recruiting game when it come on. But for those who don't know, this the Fat Boys, uh, and that's my boy Marky D in jail. These kids don't know about this kind of rap. One more, you know. So hey, let's get it like this. This goes out to the Fat Boys. Rest in peace. My dog ain't here no more. A lot of dudes ain't here no more. It's a party. It rocked the house. Out of Disco 3. Uh, uh, uh. Boy, y'all don't know how hard that went back in the day. Y'all don't know what y'all was missing. So hey, yeah, we gonna talk a little bit about this recruiting game. And let's see. My favorite Fat Boys album song out of that people don't even know who this one is. But this was that Don't You Dog Me. But y'all, you know what matter of fact, y'all don't even know about this right here. Fat, 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 fat face. Yeah, but hey, on the real people, take care of yourselves out there. Enjoy life. Life comes around one time. You only get one time to do it. So we're gonna talk a little bit tonight about this new recruiting game. What's up, Stokes? How you doing, brother? Always a pleasure. Uh, always a pleasure. My boy had a good season. It's crazy because that boy, it's almost over. So it's like crazy. But anyway, you know, we're gonna talk to y'all a little bit tonight about a few things that are near and dear to my heart. For those who know me, I'm always trying to give out free game on recruiting and kind of trying to help people out. So this year in particular, I feel it's even more important to kind of give out a little game because the game has changed tremendously. You know, One of the things that have changed the game for those parents who don't know is that the NCAA has come up with the recruiting portal. This is where guys who are already in college can enter their name in a portal, and it allows colleges to actually go out and re-recruit these kids. Now, one of the advantages for colleges is that they've actually seen these guys on campus, uh, play college football. So, uh, one of the disadvantages for other kids, young kids that are out there, is that hurts because if I'm a college, I'm going to take this proven commodity over a kid who's out there trying to prove himself. So right now, it's really killing the game for new recruits. That and COVID hit at the same time, and I really don't know if recruiting is going to be the same because of COVID. What we saw in recruiting beforehand is probably never going to be the same. Um, right now, you have a lot of, countless schools out there that they don't have scholarships. Number one, you have the NCAA gave all the seniors, well, really all the players an additional year. So schools right now for the class coming up, they're only gonna, we're talking about schools like Florida, Ohio State only have 8 to 9, 10, 11, 12 scholarships. A lot of the other schools, the smaller schools, you know, they don't even have that. So it's going to be real interesting. So the recruiting game has changed. One of the things that the younger guys who are in the class of 2022 want to make sure that they do is they want to make sure their grades are trump tight. So, guys this summer should be taking a lot of online classes, making sure that they get their core GPA up, If you don't know your core GPA right now and you're a junior about to be a senior, you're already behind the game. It's going to be crucial that you keep your grades up. So, the whole, like, honestly, the student athlete portion, a good friend of mine, Larry Kendi, said on one of his posts this afternoon, uh, or early this morning, that that is really what it's about to come to. You're going to have to be a true student athlete to get scholarships. So, I talked to a kid today. I won't say his name, but he's probably ranked the number one. He's in the top five at his position across the country in his class, and he didn't know his core GPA. And the most crazy, when I called him, he was actually in there with his counselor, and his counselor hadn't even talked to him about it. So parents, you have to go out and make sure you know what your child's core GPA is. That's very, very important. That's probably the most important thing that you could do as a parent right now, is just find out what is going to be right now. What's up, Coach Brown? It's always a pleasure, man. Um, right now, that's one of the most important things that you could do. So the game has changed, people. I promise you. Right now, as a parent, you're gonna have to be a lot more aggressive. You know, you're gonna have to make sure your son goes to exposure camps this year, because it's going to be one of the few things that's going to be out there for him. One of the things that we'll talk about, and this is my second point for the day, is 2020 camps. I mean, those 2020 camps are going to be very, very important. So I mean, so you're going to have to make sure that you as a parent take care of that for your kid. You're going to have to make sure of that. So as a parent, 2020 camps, you want to make sure that you're doing that. If you're not going to these camps this year, and they're not going to be any college camps, you might as well get that out your head. I know a lot of people are sitting around thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna probably let my son go this summer." It's not going to be like it was. I mean, because as long as COVID is out there, these athletic directors and these presidents aren't going to want these kids on campus. So, it's unfortunate because the colleges would love to see your child. They would love to do that. So, what you might want to do is find camps that are going to be filming your child. If they're not filming your child, you may or may not want to go. But if it's, a reasonable amount, I'd say under $99, then you want to go anyway, just so they can get an opportunity to know what they need to work on. I mean, a lot of these kids nowadays are scared to run the 40, because they think they should be running 4.3s in high school, even though that's what the pros run. But we want to make sure that they know what to expect, especially the kids that are like younger, 23s, 24s, because there possibly will be camps, going into their seniors and junior years, but maybe and maybe not, because like I said, COVID has kind of changed the whole landscape of that. I do know that there are going to be camps in Florida this year, starting with Under Armour. Uh, with They're going to have a camp. UC Report does it for Under Armour. Um, the most important thing from the camp that those college coaches want are height and weights. A lot of people don't really get that. They're not really concerned as much. You know, they're not really concerned as much about that. And coach, like, hey, DJ's right. You know, hey, got to stay on their butts about that. But they want to know, honestly, just so you know, they want to check the kid's height and weight. They can check the film and see what your playing is like. But just like right now, I'll use my son for an example. The last time they were able to check his height, he was 5'6.5", 5'7". He's 5'11" now. But that was, his freshman year. Like, they saw him in that spring, before COVID hit, and a year later, nobody's seen him, because there haven't been any places that he could go. So, I would advise, if you can, get to camps, if nothing else, just to get your height and weights, especially you guys that are freshmen and sophomores, that, you typically, grow a little bit, freshman, sophomore, junior years. My son is a freshman, was 5'7", 135. Now he's 5'11", 170. So you want to make sure that you get as many, opportunities as you can. Um, Also, if there's a camp where most of the colleges are looking for those height and weights, and they're looking for movement drills. They want to see how our kids move. So if you have a camp that is going to give you that opportunity, you might want to be there. We have one that we're doing not this weekend, but next weekend at West Orange because it's a turf field, and so that we can, and we're gonna film, do all that kind of stuff that we do. Um, but the important thing is at that particular camp, we're going to uh, choose kids to compete against kids with Power Five offers. Um, we got a big camp on March 28th where we're going to film all the kids, send to all the Power Five schools. It's going to be kids out there that have Power Five offers that kids are going to be competing against. Probably no more than 10 at each position, other than receivers and DBs. It'll probably be a few more, but you're going to be able to see kids go up against like Jaden Gibson, who's probably, well, probably too, he's the highest ranked wide receiver in the area. You're a linebacker, you'll be able to go up against Trey Barnes and Demario Tolan. So coaches can watch you as they watch them. So that's going to be real crucial, for a lot of kids. So anytime you can get some exposure right now, that's something that you want to do. Uh, One of the other things that we want to make sure about camps is that you make sure that if you have a good camp, that, and they have film, that you get that film and that you're able to share that with college coaches. The camp we're having, we'll actually film it and we'll put it on YouTube so that anybody who has it can look at it. We're definitely will make sure that all of the Power Five schools, not just them, all the Division I schools and even the HBCUs will get a copy. We'll send them a link so they can get it. They'll have all of the kids' names, information, so that they can, help those kids, get recruited. So if you want any more information on the camp that's at West Orange, go to toprecruitsnow.com. That's www.toprecruits with an S now.com, and go on the Elite 100 camp. I think we might only have like 25 spots left. It's only going to be limited to 100 people. Um, we're also going to be doing one in the Panhandle on April 10th. So, and shout outs to my main man, Kevin Hawthorne, who does all the filming for me. Kelvin does a tremendous job. We've done it before. College coaches have seen what the work he does. And so it's just really good to have that going. Also, at this camp, we're going to be introduced on the 28th. We're going to be introducing the Big Nasty. So we're going to have some drills specifically designed for the offensive linemen in the area. Big shout out to Tank Trenchman Jones at Trenchman Academy for helping us to do that. We're going to have some of the top offensive and defensive linemen from Orlando all the way to Tampa. That's going to be a tremendous event. Um, let's see, can 13-year-old, and they can attend the camp that is open on the 13th is open to anyone. That's going to be March 13th at West Orange until we get to 100 people. If they're 20, if they're 2026, and if he can slang it, he can compete. That's fine. I know a kid that is probably eighth grader that he's probably going to show up at the camp, and I expect him to compete with everybody. At that camp on the 13th, we're going to take 30 kids, at least three to four at each position, to compete against the big dogs who have all the offers and stuff of that nature. So, I look forward to it. It'll be interesting at that camp on the 28th. Rivals, 247, Exos will be there. On the camp on the 13th, Exos and oh man, I forgot their name. Another recruiting service. They're going to be there so that they can, get all the kids' information. We'll give them all the kids' information because we know that they, actually, give the information to college coaches, and so that'll be good for the kids to be in their databases, their height and weights and stuff of that nature. So, it's all on the flyer. And like I said, matter of fact, hold on, let me see if I might even have a flyer. Let's see it. Yeah, I have it, but I can't make it big enough, guys. So I apologize. But I think that if we can in Central Florida we have a lot of talent. I definitely want to make sure that we can get these guys exposed. So I look forward to hopefully seeing you guys at that. Like I said, if you want to take a look at it, I think we've got 25 spots left. www.toprecruitsnow.com. So on to the next thing I want to talk about is 7-on-7. 7-on-7 has become, something really big right now in the sports market. Um, but one of the things about 7-on-7 is, you know, people have to ask themselves why they're playing, especially once you get to the high school level. I think all the kids should be playing and getting developed, but don't let people tell you that you're on an elite all-star team and you're not. Just because every 7-on-7 team is different. Just like the event on the 28th, those kids that got invited, I was able to get a sponsor, and they want elite kids. They want kids with Power Five offers, and and rivals in 247. They want to meet those kids. Uh, I just happen to uh, negotiate something to where I'm really a big fan of the guys that people don't know. I mean, once kids get their offers and all that, everybody knows them, and that's good. But I love it when the kids that weren't on people's radar, all of a sudden they blow up. I mean, that's like the best thing in the world to me. I love to see those kids come up. Like, prime example, he's not. It was a kid named Zach Menard that came to basically the same camp last year, and he's out of Tampa. And man, that kid, I had kids that had a whole bunch of offers, but that kid came in and dominated, and I look forward to seeing him again this year. And it's only a matter of time before he blows up because his skills and techniques are like none other. So I'm very proud of him because he came out there and he did his job. So with that being said, whether you go into camps, 7-on-7, whatever, anytime you lace them up, you need to do your job because you got to remember there's somebody that's never seen you before. So the first thing I did, I don't need. I reached out to the people I knew Zach and told him about the camp because I know that he's going to do his thing. So so that's one of the things that everyone needs to make sure that when your kids go to these camps, they shine. If they're not ready for it, there's no reason for them to go. You know, one of the things in 7-on-7, there's levels to it. Like I said, like everything else, we got an event on March 27th where we're going to have the top kids in the country from Hustle Inc. in Atlanta to uh, a team out of Tennessee, Tennessee Select, that has the top players in Tennessee. Uh, we got South Florida Express. We got our team, Certified Dog. We got uh, unsigned preps that have committed to come, and a host of others. I limit my camp, my 7-on-7, to really just elite teams because I want to see dogs go up against dogs. That's my whole thing with all this. I don't like to see, you know, dogs go up against kids who aren't on that level because they can't get any better. It's almost like, if you put me in the ring with Mike Tyson, it's not going to be a real fight. He's going to, I like for people to have a fighting chance. And so there's a host of events out there. Just make sure that you're putting these kids in events that they can be successful in. Nothing's wrong with 7-on-7. you know I mean, I don't even care if people get paid if that's what they choose to do, but we need to make sure that these kids are being put in situations that help them. And if your kid isn't ready for the real 7-on-7 grind, that's okay. you know Put them on a team that they can be successful on and build some confidence and go better. A lot of high schools are going to start doing 7-on-7, which is good for your kids as well. So I look forward to 7-on-7 growing, but I just think that we need to do a better job of making sure that all the kids are in a successful environment. So that's something I definitely look forward to. Um, Also, and I didn't put it on here, but right now, you know, it would be number four, and it's probably everything I told you. This is probably the most important thing. You want to get your kids some training. Your kid needs training. A lot of parents, and that's going to be my final thought as to how, but a kid needs training. You can't have your kid out here, you know, uh, and he needs proper training. Let me say that. Just because your kid is working out doesn't necessarily mean they're training. It's almost like you see people that work out every day, but they're still fat. If your kid is not getting the results that you want, then you probably need to get a trainer that's a little bit better. I'm not here to argue about who the best trainers are. I think that the trainers. I think that next week I think I'm going to reach out and see if I can get trainers to just come and give their spiel as to why you should train with them, because I can't tell you who to train with or whatever. I'm the kind of person that believes you should try to train with two or three guys and then you figure out from there which one is best for your son. Because just because someone is good for Asad Wasim doesn't mean they're good for, your child. So you got to find out who works great with your child. And so, um, hopefully, I can get the trainers to come on. I mean, it's a lot of egos in Central Florida, uh, but everybody's a trainer now. Everybody's a trainer, and you got to look at your trainer's background. I mean, it's okay to be, a trainer, but if your trainer has never trained anybody and, he's never done it, then you might want to find somebody that has. There's some trainers in the area that have done it for a long time. You might want to, take a look at them, but that doesn't mean necessarily that, that they're the trainers you need to go to. So, it's kind of hard, but you got to figure that thing out, as a parent. That's something that you're going to have to do. Um, so I just want to make sure that I talked to you guys about that as well. That I forgot to put that on, but that is probably one of the most important things that you can do. There's my boy Drico, who I know is a great trainer. Uh, you know, he does a great job with DBs. So and I can I can stand by what I've seen him do with guys. So and like I said, you just got to find a trainer for you, and once you find the one for you, go balls to the wall. Because guess what? For you 2022s this year, y'all gonna have great seasons. That's one thing I left out too. It's gonna be a lot of kids that had 15, 20 offers that like Power Five, and they're gonna seek to FCS offers, which is Division 1 AA. And it's gonna be kids that had no offers that they're gonna have a great senior year and they're gonna move up. Because right now, uh, you know, it's kind of it's almost like how it was when I was old, when I was young, rather. Like everybody with all these big offers right now, that didn't happen when we was growing up 35 years ago. You had to play through your senior year before anybody gave you anything. And right now, that's kind of what it's going through. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of guys going to commit, have offers, but if you've ever seen that paperwork, they got a loophole in there, so they could back out of it at any time. It could be backed out because they supposedly filled up to all their positions, or it can be backed out because your grade suck. One thing you don't want to give them is the grade suck one. You know, you don't want to give them that one. So, because they can't let you in school if they can't get you in school. So it's that simple. So with that being said, one of the things that I talk to people about and nobody ever really takes advantage of it is the honest evaluation. I have college coaches, former college coaches, people that want a Division 1 plane that will give you an honest evaluation of your kid, and it's like the best thing I've ever seen so far. I've never known them to be wrong. Like I've never known them to be off. What they do is a full fledged evaluation. You'll send them your huddle film, and they'll evaluate it because that's what schools do. They base you off your huddle film and they run an evaluation and they'll tell you, where you like where you rank. You know, from 5 is a national recruit, 4 is a power 5, 3 is you know a group of 5, 4 is a FCS 1 AA, 5 is D2, 6 is like D3, which D3 really doesn't offer athletic scholarships. You know, so I mean, I don't know why. Well, I know why. Most parents truly don't want to. They don't really want to know. I mean, people always ask you, "Hey, you can keep it real with me, be honest about my kid's ability," and they don't want to know because everybody wants to feel that their kid is going to go to, to a Power Five school or the greatest school out there, or what have you. Uh, I mean, I get it. My son, plays, and I think he could play anywhere. But I've had schools that are elite schools that say, hey, right now he can't play for us. He's gonna have to work on this, 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 and I appreciate it personally as a parent. So I can go back and say, son, you got to work on this. I appreciate it. So uh, I hope that parents and more people would take more advantage of the honest evaluation that we perform, because, like I said, it's not. Now you talking about something that don't cost a lot of money, so that you're not out there, just wasting your time, giving your money away, uh, like literally. Uh, excuse me, literally the honest evaluation will tell you, the guy tell you, hey, your kid is this kind of a player. Because especially if you're going into your senior year, you don't need to be sitting there, thinking that you're going to, get, get, this scholarship to Florida when you're a 5'5" running back that weighs 125 pounds. You can also go to the website on the honest evaluations, toprecruitsnow.com. I mean, like I said, out of everything I do, that's the thing that I really like the most, because I'm telling you, I don't care what nobody says. It's nothing like getting the truth. Nothing like getting the truth. I mean, that's the most important thing you can do. So, with that being said, my final thoughts on this whole situation. Uh, Parents, if you don't do anything else this year, make sure that you know what your kids' grades are like. Kids, make sure you know what your grades are like. Parents, please, if you don't do anything else, if you don't hear me voice, get an honest evaluation on your kid. If your kid is not a Power 5 kid, that means he's not picking up offers from Texas, Oklahoma, those schools. And that's not my final thought, because I just brought up Texas, and Coach Will Fletch brought something to my attention. So now this is being my final thought, but not my final thought. But if he doesn't have offers like that, and he only has one or two offers, like let's say your kid might have offered a Navy or Army, you might want to get an honest evaluation, because right now all these schools are offering all these kids, and most of these schools got about 10 scholarships if they're lucky. If they're lucky, some of them don't even have that. So it's going to be a lot of kids that had certain type of offers that won't have it. So you might want to get an honest evaluation, because it's unbiased. Those people don't know anything about your child. All they know is the film, and guess what? That's all college coaches know. When your son comes, they look at the film. They look at the film and they evaluate the film, and they judge them by that film. Some of these things are brutal. I've seen them. Where, like, there's kids that I'm like, and it all depends on the beholder. But what I like about my guys that do the honest evaluation is they really don't have a dog in the fight. So they're just going to tell you, hey, this is what it is. And, you got to appreciate that. My final thought, and being a proud Texan, I'm very embarrassed. The University of Texas boosters. If you haven't heard it, go look it up. Those guys, uh, the song that the University of Texas sings, that I heard my whole life being from San Antonio, come to find out it's a racist song. So a lot of the students are having an issue with it, as well they should. And the boosters are saying, nah, we got to keep singing that song. Now, a lot of those kids that are on that football team are black African American kids. I know quite a few of them personally. You know, it's a shame that they have to go out there and play under that, like with people that think that they should just shut up and play. You know, because this country was founded on people that revolted. So it's going to be interesting to see what these young men start doing to schools because I know for a fact when I was coming up, dudes wasn't going to Ole Miss and Mississippi State. There was a reason. Now, Mississippi's opened up. Guess what? More and more guys are going. They have black coaches. A lot of guys are considering those schools. A lot of those guys are not. Texas is already on the downstroke. So it's going to be interesting to see. How it goes. So uh, and so I just want all the parents that are out there, you know, talk to your kids. You know, talk to your kids. Your kid's an elite player. When you talk to these coaches, like if you're going to the University of Texas, ask that coach his thoughts on that. Because one thing I give those guys in Mississippi, they wasn't playing. Lane and those guys, when that foolishness happened this summer, they were like, hey, we're not going out like that. I haven't heard a peep from the Texas coach. So, it's going to be interesting because I'm from Texas. So I know it's a lot of money down there. There's a lot of guys who love that Texas song, no matter what. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But anyway, you know, that might be one of the reasons that the guys are talking about that right now. That is going to be one of the things that kids. My phone is blowing up with some of the kids that don't want to say anything. They can't say it, but hell, I say it. Coach, how can I play for this school when they treating me like this? It's another guy that I won't say his name, but he's real big in the youth circle. And his son went there, and and I'm a Texas guy. I'm from Texas. I'm a proud Texan. I just want to see University of Texas do the right thing and make sure these kids aren't put in bad situations. So, with that being said, hey, if you have any questions, you can always reach me, inbox me on Facebook. But like I'm gonna tell parents, you have to invest in your child. There will be a lot of camps going on. Just make sure they're reputable camps. Make sure that the people that are hosting the camps do have connections with college coaches. If you don't see UC Report, uh, 247 Rivals, XOs at these camps or at these 7-on-7s, then you know that your kid's not really getting exposure, and that's okay. Because I do believe sometimes that kids just need to get work. So I mean that's important too. But if we just getting work, I don't want to pay a whole bunch of money. If we get an exposure, I'll pay a little extra for exposure. But I'm not going to pay all this extra if we're not getting that. So with that being said, look, also my man, final thought, because this dude Tank just got on. Next week we're gonna have our all Central Florida preseason uh, picks at every position. So we're gonna have those guys. It's gonna be interesting, and we'll see how it happens. So, okay, y'all be good. Peace. And before I go, as always, we can only leave on one song because I am a member of Kappa Alpha Psi from Texas. So we end every night with this song right here. Which hold on, maybe I don't have it no more. Hold on. Let me see, y'all. I might have messed around. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I thought hey, I thought my wife had erased it because she might, because she knows she don't even want to hear the song coming because she know how it goes. Boy, if I had my cane in my hand, I would show how we do it Texas style, baby. Southwest Texas, Lambda Theta, ain't none greater. That's how we get it in. Boy, I'm telling you, still, I can still twirl it right now. 30 years later, I still got it. Don't make me put this flashlight. Try to tell you, Spring 90, baby. Spring 97 Club, Kappa Alpha Psi, Dracar. That's what they call me. I'm telling you, Big Brother Quick Draw. Boy, I'm telling you, boy, y'all don't know, boy. I used to get it in back in the day. But hey, players, always remember the spotlight's on you. Hey, just like I say with flashlight, spotlight. So peace out. Y'all be good.